Little did I know the happy-faced killer is my own father.
Tonight, his daughter coming out of the shadows and going public about the father who could be so loving, but sometimes lethal.
Did you choke all of the women?
That's what I had done with the first one, so I never changed. It worked the first time, so I went to the second and third, fourth, and fifth, sixth, and seventh.
About the day her children met their serial killer grandfather in prison.
That's one moment in being a mother that I wish I could take back.
And about the doubts that have haunted her.
Maybe I was a monster like him.
But now she has a new mission, seeking to atone in a way for the sins of her father.
Oh, here we go.
By meeting up with the family of a woman he murdered.
What was going through your mind as you knocked on that door?
But she's about to discover forgiveness doesn't come easy.
This person had a life. It's all about your dad, all about your dad, all about your dad.
A heart-wrenching encounter as cameras roll. Tonight on 2020, what happens when there's a monster in my family?
Logically, I know he is the father that raised me, and he is a serial killer, but to combine the two, it's just not possible for me.
I washed the blood off the wall and tried to forget about it.
Good evening. Tonight, an all-new journey of healing for a teenage girl, now a young woman, whose father did the unimaginable. He is serving a life sentence, but when you hear her story, you'll understand why she believes she is serving a sentence of her own. Because now the world knows what her father did, a serial killer who took the lives of 8 women over 5 years.
And tonight, right here, you're going to see how he was caught, the bragging, the taunting letters, the police interrogation tapes, even the chilling telephone calls with our own Juju Chang. You will also see what his daughter is now trying to do, reaching out to the children who have a monster in the family. Once again, here's Juju.
Surreal, being an adult.
36-year-old Melissa Moore is taking the longest walk of her life alongside her mother. She's approaching the home of Michelle White.
Oh, here we go.
The sister of just one of 8 women her father murdered.
Meeting the victim's family was very, very difficult because I didn't know what to say. And I thought, oh my gosh, what am I in for?
This is not an easy journey for anyone. It's not an easy story to tell.
I'm coming into her space, into her world with nothing to offer her.
It's taken her 20 years to find the courage to knock on that door. But to understand how she got here, we have to go back to the beginning of Melissa's long journey to liberate herself from the guilt and shame of her family's legacy. A long search for answers about a father who wasn't at all what he appeared to be.
These were really good memories for me, being out here in the country. I could smell the alfalfa still. I could hear the birds and hear the animal sounds, the horse, just like I did when I was a child. It makes me miss being a kid.
Hers was a scrappy upbringing in Toppenish, Washington, a rural and rugged community where the welcome sign celebrates where the West still lives.
I have memories of riding my bike, and my dad would kind of run behind me as I would be pedaling down the street here. Makes me miss having a dad.
These home videos depict an adoring dad. Here he is riding an ATV with his bundle of joy on board and showing off his daughter's shiny new snow boots.
Whoa, isn't that new boots? Isn't that nice?
But behind the loving facade was a violent killer, a secret that would only be revealed years later. Melissa's the oldest of 3 children and always looked forward to when her dad, a long-haul truck driver, would return from a trip.
First thing I would do is, when he got out of the car, I'd run up to him and go for his pockets for the change that he had left over from his day. I got to keep the change, and I would save it up to buy a little gum and things like that.
Is she looking through rose-colored glasses, or were there really good times?
There really were good times.
Rose Huck is Melissa's mom.
At Christmas time, even if we didn't have the money, somehow he'd figure it out how to get the money and bring back what the kids really wanted for Christmas.
Would you describe him as a good husband?
No, he was not a good husband.
Why?
He was very distant with me.
Was he abusive to you?
No, he was not. If he was angry, he would walk away.
My dad would never spank me or hit me.
Describe him physically. I mean, he's a big man.
Yeah, he was 6'6" and about closer to 300 pounds.
Keith Jesperson, a large, handsome man with a dark side. which he mostly managed to keep hidden from his children, except for one traumatic event Melissa witnessed as a 6-year-old that she still remembers vividly.
One day when I went down here to go play with my brother and my sister house, I found some little kittens. They were resting right here. When I got out here, my dad was working out by the barn. He said, "Can I see him?" I said, "No." He grabbed him by the tail and hung them on the clothesline and wailing, screaming their little kitten screams. I ran inside the house to get my mom and wanted it to stop, and then by the time we got back out and got out here, the kittens were laying on the ground over here. So I remember bending down and seeing that they were dead. The way he just looked at me was, "I don't care. This is so funny to watch you grimace and be tortured." He liked it.
I first met Melissa in 2010.
What is it that you think you caught a glimpse of that day?
The sociopath, the part where he felt in control over me and that he enjoyed it. I got a sense that there was another side to him.
So it's almost like you caught a glimpse of the monster who killed these people.
I did catch a glimpse.
A side he certainly didn't reveal to Rose when she fell in love with him as a teenager.
He was a very charismatic, considerate young man, and I had no clue that this is what he would become.
Rose says that after a decade of marriage, strange women started calling the house, and she began suspecting he was having affairs.
And I said, "Who is this?" And he goes, "Oh, I'm his girlfriend." I said, "Well, I'm his wife." Click.
She had had enough, and after 14 years of marriage, the pair decided to separate. Rose and her 3 children left the orchards of where the kids spent their youth to drive 200 miles away to Spokane, Washington, to move into the cellar of their grandmother's home. But Melissa, now 10, still loved her dad.
She said, "Your father doesn't want us anymore and we're separating." And I thought, this is not the case. Dad loves us. Once he sees me again, he'll change his mind.
Although the family never reconciled, over the next 5 years, Melissa's father would visit whenever his trucking jobs took him their way.
I mean, come into town and take us out to eat, go shopping, and then after the shopping, he would take us to the grocery store. He would stay the night and leave the next morning.
Melissa says she never saw or heard anything unusual, except for those awkward conversations that might make any teenager cringe.
Wherever there was a female around, he had to say something that was inappropriate. He would start talking about his sexual acts with other women, and I didn't want to hear it. It was disgusting to me.
You knew it was wrong.
He was proud of his sexual experiences and wanted to share it.
Then a conversation at a diner that would haunt her for years to come.
The last time I saw my dad, he came to Spokane, just a sporadic visit, and we came to a diner like this. And he said, "I have something to tell you, but if I tell you, you'll tell the authorities, you'll tell the police." And then my stomach started to get upset.
When we come back, was Keith Jesperson about to confess what he really did during those long road trips?
My father said, "I know how to kill someone and get away with it."
And the grisly play-by-play confessions he would make to us over the phone.
It became a nonchalant type thing. It's like shoplifting.
It is nothing like shoplifting. You're killing somebody.
Stay with us.
What happened with the first murder?
I picked up a woman at a bar, took her home.
The conversations, extremely candid, full of disturbing details. A killer, in his own words, tells us how and why he committed the first of his grisly murders in January 1990, the very same year his divorce to Melissa's mom was finalized.
We were drinking beer a lot that day.
The woman he met in a Portland area bar was a 23-year-old named Tanya Bennett, described by family as overtly friendly and developmentally slow.
Took her home. I thought I was going to get lucky.
After a night of heavy drinking, the two left the bar and headed back to Jesperson's suburban red brick home, where he lured her and attempted to have sex.
Comments were made and different things, and an altercation happened, and I struck her. I actually had hit her in the face, and for some reason, I just kept on hitting her in the face, and because of that, I feared going to prison for slugging her in the face and causing bodily injury, and so I killed her.
You meant to kill her?
Oh, yes, I did. I meant to kill her to cover up the assault.
You say it very matter-of-factly, with no remorse or hint of remorse.
It is matter of fact, that's what it is.
After strangling Bennett with his bare hands, Jesperson left her lifeless body behind and returned to the bar to coldly continue drinking and establish an alibi. He then drove the body up the old scenic highway and dumped it in the dense brush just miles from where he and his children liked to frolic in those waterfalls.
I put the body up there in the Columbia River Gorge. I had tied a rope around its neck, mostly I didn't know how the body reacted when you started moving it.
Days later, Bennett's body was discovered, but Jesperson would not become a suspect. And this is where the story takes a strange turn. Out of the blue, a total stranger comes forward to take credit for the crime with a bizarre false confession. This woman tries to frame her abusive boyfriend, telling police he murdered Tanya Bennett, using details of the crime from newspaper reports. Detective Rick Buckner investigated the case.
She actually went so far as to buy a purse and put it in the trunk of John's car, claiming it was Tanya Bennett's.
Having incriminated herself, she now faced prison for something she had nothing to do with.
We had people in custody for a crime they didn't commit.
Meanwhile, the real killer is frustrated and envious of all the attention the pair is receiving for his crime.
I was puzzled. Let's say it was something that just caught me kind of like off guard, especially when I heard that one had confessed to it.
So back on the road, in a rest stop bathroom, he scribbles on the wall. January 21, 1990. Killed Tanya Bennett in Portland. 2 people got the blame, so I can kill again. And he did. 2 years later, he embarked on a killing spree.
What about Lori Ann Pentland?
Yes, I did kill her, yeah. Her attitude was like her life was all hell and she didn't want to be around and she wanted me to feel sorry for her, and I just, well, you know, I can kill you and put you out of your misery, and she said go for it, so I did.
She asked you to kill her?
Well, I told her that, you know, if your life's so bad, why don't you just end it?
He recounts the details of his crimes with a chilling lack of emotion. There was Cynthia Rose.
You killed her over a parking spot?
Yes, I did. It was supposed to be a parking spot.
Number 5 and 6 were Jane Doe's. In 1995, number 7, Angela Sabrese. Killing her, it seems, wasn't enough.
Is she the victim that you tied under the truck?
Yes, she is, yeah.
Why did you do that?
I felt that by dragging her under the truck, that I would destroy all evidence of who her identity was.
Did you choke all of the women?
Yes, I did, yeah.
Why did you choke them?
That's what I had done with the first one, so I never changed. It had worked the first time, so I went to the second and third, fourth and fifth, sixth and seventh.
It is so gruesome what you're describing. I mean, there's a possibility that these people's family members might be listening to you describing this.
I'm sorry it happened. Wish it never happened. And can we move on?
Can we move on?
Yeah, I mean, come on. I mean, it's done, it's over with.
How would you feel if somebody did this to your daughter?
Well, I would probably search him down and kill him. Yes, I'd like to go back in time and change it and make it all go away and make it all peaches and cream again, but I can't do that.